Anyway,
How do you visually make your animations look so good?
that is such a hard question, man. Like, the thing that I always try to do is like, my timeline is divided in scenes most of the time, right? So sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't. If I have a bigger project, I definitely do. But like, my timeline is divided in scenes, and that's how you should always look at your animations. Look at your animations in scenes. I know, like, we're doing sprites and we're just gonna animate as we go and shit, and it's gonna look amazing. But sometimes you forget that you're an animator, right? So you gotta approach these things as a scene by scene basis. If you have like a big like project going on, everybody works on a studio scene for scene. So if you keep that in mind, even though you're not in a big production, right, you kind of think of it in a different way, because that means that having a different scene means that you can't have the same camera shots all the time, right? Because like, look here, this is just like if you look at the camera and like everything, right? This is just like showing, oh, he's in the desert and whatever, right? The sun is in the background and it looks beautiful. And then you have him, he's like just doing his thing, blah blah blah, it goes up, and then boom. Like, normally what I would do, or actually, wait, I did do this, alright, good. Like, this whole thing is one continuous like thing, right? Because you see the white layers, the white frames, and then here they cut off, like, actually it should be like this, right? So it's like boom boom boom. This pretty much means like the fact that everything the fact that everything is cut off here means, oh, this is a new scene. And yes, it is a new scene, because this is the scene where he's in the foreground. You have like the what is it called, the sand like moving, because like, oh, it's fucking like he got hit with the lightning stuff and shit, and yeah, blah blah blah. Then here you see it again. Like, I don't divide all the frames, right? But like, I just know, like, oh yeah, divided frames, like this and this, like this and this. This means, oh yeah, it's working on a new scene. So I could just do all of them. And yeah, so new here again, new scene, right? So he just did this, we just had this whole sequence from the foreground that he's landing correctly, and yeah, he's like, hey, little bitch, man, what are you doing? And then we have the second scene, which is like him grabbing the shit, and then it zooms in, and then another scene, again, here, divided layers, different things, blah blah, he says some dumb shit. Again, here, I actually do, like, divide all of the frames and the layers, and yes, boom, here again. So yeah, so maybe this doesn't make much. Maybe this, oh, what is this animation? I just made this on like stream last time, just random dumb animation. But yeah, if you look at it this way, right, then you know, like, you're forcing yourself to do something different and to show your audience a different like shot, pretty much, right? Like, if I had the sprites for it, I'd even do like back shots, like of his back to like the other guy, perspective stuff, right? And yeah, that would make your animation like look good visually, right? If you well, damn, dude, I just spaced out. Like, if you fuck it. I don't know where I want to go anymore. I'll just start a new sentence. Fuck it. Yeah, so if you look at, like, if you divide your layers like this, you're forcing yourself to have a different cut, like the camera's different, right? If you look at a movie, you can see the scenes, like, just focus on the background and the camera. Don't look at like the characters and stuff, right? You see it cuts to a different perspective all the time, because you gotta show your audience like everything, right? You gotta kind of like involve your audience with the action and stuff like that. And it's harder to do that in like the same perspective all the time, or like let's say my animation is in the same perspective for 20 seconds, right? And then at the 20-second mark, I'm like, okay, now I want to do perspective shit. It's kind of weird, right? You gotta do it consistently. You can't like you can't really hold one scene for too long, right? So yeah, here's like, look, like this entire thing is a scene, right? You see it here, there's white layers or frames or whatever here and here as well. So this is one scene. Boom. And like, as you see on this next scene, in quotations, there's another perspective. Same thing for here. See, right? This is a scene. Now I'm up close, right? Because yeah. Here, this next one, also gonna be a new scene, different perspective. Him back in the, like the more of an overview kind of view, right? And then you just have a bunch of fucking animations that I keep in the same perspective, right? Like everything is in a different, or in the same perspective. And then the animation ends because I was lazy. But yeah, let's say you are actually like gonna do a side scroll fight, right? Like you only have this perspective going on. Then what you want to do, if you want to make your animations look nice, first of all, you gotta have interesting choreography, because if your combos are really boring, and yeah, if your combos are boring and stuff, it's gonna be like, whatever, like it's kind of rough to watch, right? This is why earlier I said as well about the backgrounds, right? If you have like let's say you're only in this perspective, right? Actually, fuck it, we're gonna go on YouTube, because I know somebody that has that, like, dude, this guy knows his shit. Rebaz, right? If you look at his fight animations, right, he is always, most of the time, in the same perspective, but the way he all right, which animation do I want to show actually? This one probably. Anyway, right? So most of his animations are in the same perspective. Like they're always on this like I don't know how to call it, like always in this side scroll perspective. But the way he makes everything so like even though it's not like crazy colors or crazy filters or whatever like that, it is nice to watch, because like things are happening, like there's interesting combos. The thing that I said earlier about the backgrounds, right? There's always background interactions in his animations, and that just kind of makes it like see, like he punches the fucking thing, and then he like this like whatever like garbage shit, it's in the air, he uses that to smash that at him. There's also shit going on here, like it just like shit is going down, right? Like everywhere. And that's how you kind of make your animations look nicer, feel nicer, stuff like that, right? Like, dude, it wasn't like, the thing is, man, it wasn't necessary at all, right, for like him to fall and a bunch of pipes, right? But like it makes the scene more interesting. And that's what you just gotta think about it. Don't think about it in the way of like, oh dude, why does the animation look so nice? Just look at it like, what makes it nice? Like, is it the colors? Because sometimes animation can look really good if you go through color correction and color grading. Like Jaws is like, does that shit a lot, right? Like his things are always very pretty in color. And like some people, like Zach, he always has perspective stuff. And yeah, and this guy just has like a bunch of background interaction, like boom, he crushes the wall. He could have just walked through here, right? But nah, fuck it. Things like that. So Black Mega Man, there's your advice on yeah, just think about the points I just gave you and just make cool shit, right? But yeah, back to animating, I guess. That was a lot of information, I'm sorry, like, damn.